Let's go to the sixth dimension, if you still have patience to follow this. So what would be the sixth dimension? The fifth one is love, and we have to respect the existence of unconditional love, and we have to implement this, the basic principles of unconditional love in our lives. But there's a sixth dimension. There is, beyond aura, the so-called light body. Here we go much deeper into the esoteric realms, but we had to. I wanted to avoid this in my beginnings of searching the quality transformational methodology, but I couldn't. So this light body also has a purpose, and it has certain energy centers within it. This Merkaba formation is very popular and within the New Age circles. They use this formation to meditate on it and heal. The light body looks like a big egg or eggshell, and is actually known in Chinese traditional medicine. There are the meridians inside the light body. There are those Dantian centers known in Oriental martial arts. For example, we have this little ball, which is actually orange, where the practitioners of karate accumulate energy. And then, after accumulating enough energy, when they punch a brick using this energy from this Harik center, they would break the brick. If they don't use this energy, they would break their hand. And there's a big difference, between these two. And this is what makes this difference. Accumulating energy inside of some of those very mysterious energetic points. There are actually 10 of them, together with meridians. There are some other aspects of this level, which is the so-called Harik line. For example, this line, when you do Tai Chi, they always tell you, imagine a line, a cord, going from heaven through the center of your body and into the center of the earth. And imagine that this cord, this string, is well adjusted. And you rely upon this string. So it is used to balance you, to center you. But the most important aspect of this string, of this cord, is that it always knows what you really want. So if you want to know what you really want in any particular moment of your life, you adjust yourself, your consciousness, your mind, with this line. You meditate on it. You may even do this and to activate it, and you will, with no doubt whatsoever, know what the purpose of your life at the very moment is, and what your true needs are. These are inscribed in this Harik line, looking like this within the Barbara Brennan's School of Healing. So what is this sixth dimension? I call it intention. And intention is known nowadays from many traditions. Carlos Castaneda speaks about intentions in his 10 books. Wayne Dyer speaks about the power of intention. Lynn McTaggart wrote a book on intention experiment. It seems that this intention is a cosmic force given to us for some purpose. So what would this purpose be? We may use the power of intention, more commonly known as the power of our will. But this will exists as a huge energy field also outside of us. It's within us, but it's also outside of us. In the process of goal work. So it is only natural to have a goal in our lives and to work to achieve those goals. If you don't, you will get sick and you might even die. This is what makes us sick, not realizing our true goals. It's not just negative emotion suppressed into our unconscious mind. It's not just the radiation from the mobile phones, or I don't know. It's not just what we eat. If we block our creative energy, we will get sick. So, in order for people to become healthy, you just have to enable them to name their goals, first of all, to know what they want, and to direct their energy into achieving this process. People with no goals cannot be called healthy. In the same way as people who don't have at least one healthy relationship in their lives based on unconditional love, at least one, cannot be called healthy. And there are many such people out there. They are not in mental institutions. And our society considers them healthy according to some other criteria, such as IQ, the level of intelligence. What about their emotional Q? What about their spiritual Q? So, the true nature of the goal achieving process is actually this. Paulo Coelho, in his famous The Alchemist, says that if you really, really want something, the whole universe will support you in this. I would say not. Because the very structure of our society is much different than this. If you really know what you want, if you are true to yourself, and your goals are balanced, healthy, positive, and so on, every single aspect of our society, of our lives, will try to make us fail. So those systems that claim that it is easy to be creative, that it is easy to realize our goals, they just try to sell you something, not to tell you the truth, but to sell you a philosophy. Because what people think success looks like is this, and what it really looks like is usually even much worse than this. So you need to know how to overcome the obstacles and where they come from, what they might be. Let's go to the seventh dimension, the last one so far. I'm not going to torture you with this any longer. What would be the seventh dimension? Also a physical force that needs to be respected. There's another level of our energy body we call the star body. So we have aura, we have light body, and we have the so-called star body. It might look like this, but it's just a metaphor. Barbara Ann Brennan, in her book Light Emerging, spoke about it for the first time, and I developed on her methodology and map, which is relatively poor because it only has one energy center, one core star center, where I speak of 33 of them. And all those are very important. So, have you ever heard of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which says that when you, he has proven that mathematically and experimentally, that when a scientist doing an experiment on quantum level, on the subatomic level, will influence the outcome of this experiment with his consciousness. So we will not have this principle of scientific verification satisfied here, because where they say that something is scientifically proven when you and I and 10 other people have the same results. Here it doesn't happen, because the level of consciousness, not just the level, the characteristic of consciousness of an observer influences the observed. Therefore, consciousness becomes a physical force. So we have to respect this dimension if we want to solve our problems and heal correctly. Because consciousness definitely needs expanding. So if we block the expansion of consciousness, we might get very, very sick. First of all, we might have problems which could be only of psychological nature, but later what happens within our energy body will come down to our physical body. They say consciousness creates reality. Well, yeah, if you go deep enough, you will find that our consciousness creates reality. How our minds are programmed is how our life circumstances are going to look like. So that's the main reason for this mysterious, abstract thing called meditation. Why meditate? To expand your consciousness. Why not? To experience the spiritual reality also. So meditation, yeah, there are spiritual worlds to be experienced also. This is another reason. Because we live inside of the manifested universe, the world of plenty, based on duality, on vibration, on energy moving between two opposing points and back. But and that's the main characteristic of this manifested dual world. But there is the world of unity also. There exists a world of unity that some people call God or the Absolute. And this world is our true source. When viewing things from this world and this level of consciousness, the dual world, the material world, seems like an illusion. And that's why mystics speak of the material world as an illusion, as transient and basically illusory. And what is the true reality is the spiritual reality, the reality of the omnipresent Spirit. I would add something to this. The material world is illusory in a way, but it is not senseless. It is not useless. It is here for a very good reason, and it is structured in a way which can either be healthy or unhealthy. Because human bodies can be healthy or unhealthy. If they are healthy, you experience your body as fantastic, as a source of joy, a pleasure, and so on. If you're not healthy, you're experiencing your body as a source of suffering. You're living in your own personal hell, and you may even view life as hellish. The same goes with the world around us. This world can be hell, and it can be paradise. So it has its original structure, which either can be respected and established and preserved, nurtured, or it can be polluted, ruined, and destroyed. So the choice is ours. And actually, as our good friend Albert Einstein said once upon a time, a long time ago, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. And that's true. Even the definition of insanity is trying to resolve a problem using the same old means over and over, which have proven themselves to be wrong, using the same false means. So we definitely have to change the level of consciousness to finally resolve a certain problematic situation. You cannot stay inside the same reality. Sometimes this kind of consciousness expanding will lead us into very strange waters and realms. Some people report of finding themselves in some strange ambience and having different body than the current one. And when we do interventions on some ugly, unpleasant experiences that they've had in this body and in this environment, they become healthy. This was my situation also, my example. I've had this pollen allergy for 20 years. So from being 8 to 28, every springtime I would sneeze. My nose was running constantly. Other kids were playing football and everything. Would go out and fool around trying to catch girls. I would stay at home and basically cry. They would give me some medicine which would make me pretty drugged. And I couldn't function well while I was taking this medicine. So when I was 28 and I first applied this kind of therapy on myself, I used this allergy as a starting point, as the basic symptom. And I went digging, and found a certain past life where something happened in the fields, some huge trauma. It was in springtime. And it happened actually in the field. And after releasing this trauma, I immediately stopped being allergic to pollen. So half an hour ago, I was a sick person. Half an hour later, this intervention lasted only half an hour, I was allergy-free. So what could I say? Until then, I didn't accept the past lives theory so easily. I wouldn't go there. I thought we should all concentrate on our current lives. Who cares what happened before? Well, in this situation, I just had to expand my mind. I had to remove those, I don't know, what are they called? The horses have them. Klapne is the word in Croatian. I had to remove them and open my eyes and wider my perception in order to resolve the cause. So after that, I led many people through past lives therapy, and we achieved significant results. So who cares whether the past lives are just an imagination or reality? What is important that interventions under these experiences give results. So I also had to accept the reincarnation theory, and one step away was the law of karma. So that's what actually led me to the law of karma. My personal problem and the problem-solving process. If you haven't seen this movie, it's about the reincarnation and karma and so on, go watch it. Lower astral attachments purification. This also requires a quite a huge mind opening and mind expanding. How to approach it? Okay. There are these energetic levels of our existence. The individual energy bodies and the global energy body of our planet, even the universe. And these energy worlds are filled with different kind of beings, as the same as this one is. And there are nasty and mean and negative beings occupying these realms and influencing us, because they exist on the higher level of existence, and whenever you have higher level of existence, it will influence the immediate lower one. You've all heard of the falling angels, the Satan, and the hellish realms, very nicely depicted in the Lord of the Rings trilogy as Mordor, governed by the all-seeing eye, filled with demonic entities who feed on the energy of other beings. Sometimes we have to go into that, even into the consequences of witchcraft, which is a practice, which may be a kind of practice, where human beings have interactions with the energy beings, using their powers and communicating with the sources, different sources of powers in this energy realm, which may enable them to harm other people through witchcraft, through curses, through some kind of voodoo. And this happens. There are crazy enough people who would do such things, even nowadays. Individuals will do it, but it seems there are many secret societies that practice these kinds of things, like depicted in Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, which is a novel actually written by a guy from Vienna, originally happening here in Vienna. He put this into the, I think, Californian surroundings, but the original novel has been written here and speaks about the Austrian high society. But I would say no society is without these societies, these secret groups who practice black magic and witchcraft and so on, and trying to gain power to rule over the rest of us. doing all kinds of strange rituals. Well, sometimes we have to stretch our minds a bit to accept these things, because interventions over these influences have showed that there is something here, and that sometimes if we release these influences, we will get much happier and healthier. Sometimes we've been members of these groups in our past lives, and maybe we carry with ourselves now into this lifetime some karma from these lifetimes. These are very strange levels and realms of existence, but in a way, this entity possession, the rule of the higher dimensional entities over people, is one of the basic problems we have as a humanity, and we have to go there. And this covers the most of this collective limiting influences that I'm going to write about in the book 2. Implants dissolving, another strange area. Some people report of being abducted by aliens, returning and being returned to Earth with some strange metals within themselves. Dr. Roger Leir was a respectable surgeon, and he has had many cases of people like that and had to remove those from them. When I went into this area of implants, I discovered that there were ancient civilizations that used this technology, and they implemented this technology regularly. If you have your past lives in these civilizations, you may have some residues of these implants within your energy body, where these implants are only energetic now, not physical. But we are moving very quickly towards implementing this method, this technology once again, by using microchips, which are being advertised all over the world, especially in America, as something that could be very helpful to us, that could save us. You will have your medical record in a microchip below your skin. You will be able to pay in a supermarket. You will be able to open your garage. And life would be wonderful. And you will never get lost. Your child will never get lost. Your child would be very safe. What they don't tell you is that these microchips can be programmed from distance, and they can be programmed to control you, to put into your head thoughts and emotions you didn't have before, or to erase those you've had, and so on. So it would be a perfect means of mind control. And mind control is a global methodology practiced on us from the very beginning of humankind up till now, and by every social structure there is. Governments, religions, not by using microchips or implants, but another means. But this is going to be probably the final thing that would enable them to control us. And this has happened before. And finally, since we are speaking about the global energy field, there are many strange contents of this global energy field. Many strange things that you can find within the global field, like social norms and so on, which you download almost instantly. You know about that story of 101st monkey, very famous story, and actual real story about a certain species of monkeys on Koshima Island in Japan. These macaque monkeys one day started to wash the fruit in the water, because the scientists have studied them, and they would feed them, and they would throw a sweet potato and bananas and everything to them, but the fruit would fall into the sand, and monkeys didn't like it. The fruit was dirty, not pleasant to eat. So one little monkey started to wash the first fruit in the water, and he taught his mother to do it, and they taught the whole pack on this island to wash the fruit. And then the scientists noticed that on the other islands where they had those monkeys, the same species, these monkeys would start washing fruit in water. So how did these monkeys know that the first ones developed this new skill? Where did this information come from? There are new and modern biologists such as Rupert Sheldrake, who speaks of the morphic or morphogenetic fields, that there are actually energy fields that pre-exist, which carry within themselves all the blueprints of a certain kind, of a certain species. And they also made another experiment where they would remove a gene for eyesight from a special kinds of wine flies. These flies would remain blind forever. Every generation would produce another blind generation. But it didn't happen. In 3 generations, they would recover their eyesight. So where did this information of a healthy gene, healthy eyesight gene, came from? Rupert Sheldrake offers us the field theory. Lynn McTaggart and other scientists did an extensive research on the field and how it may influence us. And now we have a new knowledge about a level of existence and influence that we probably didn't have before. And you know how every area, every city, every country carries within it different atmosphere. It's not the same to live here in California, in Dalmatia. Sometimes we say that the bad environment may destroy your life. Bad environment, meaning people, social norms that govern that environment, and so on. But I would suggest also the field theory, where these norms are inscribed in the field. And we spontaneously and automatically, just like the macaque monkeys, download these information and accept them as natural ones, as normal, as norm. And there are many entities in the global field who govern our lives. So some of those causes of our problems may come from the field. As the great Chinese philosopher Confucius said, signs and symbols rule the world, not laws nor words. Meaning, what is inscribed in the field, the symbology, the signs, the symbols that rule, that are inscribed in the field, rule us, not laws, nor words. And we, almost like these poor souls here, automatically download what is in the field. And this tends to rule us and govern us and shape our behavior, making the global energy field of this planet a kind of prison, where the makers of the Matrix were very close to the truth, that this planet is actually not a Garden of Eden, as we can see the reality of our global situation and how things are, directed, where we have Nikola Tesla building this Wardenclyffe Tower, which was able to produce the electric energy freely, to transmit, and you would receive this energy freely. So he went to the office of J.P. Morgan, who was his financier, and he proposed this idea to J.P. Morgan. And J.P. Morgan said, "So where am I going to put the meter?" "What do you mean?" "We would produce freely, receive freely, and so on." Tesla told him, "You didn't understand me, There's no need to put a meter anywhere." So J.P. Morgan told him, "Get out of my office." And this happened in 1903, 120 years ago, where we could have had the so-called free energy, and we don't have it. So, and we are still living inside the industrial civilization, and there's no. I don't have to explain you this anymore. The planet Earth could be paradise because its structure is the same as the paradise, as heavenly worlds that we go to after we die. So, new health paradigm. If our relationships are not based on unconditional love, we will get sick. We need to heal relationships. And these relationships may cause our knee problem, our heart problem, our, lung problem, our inability to be happy. Because happiness is in love. Do I need to tell you this, that happiness is in love? Have we discovered warm water again? Is this something anyone else could not realize before me or you? This is very, very deep and complex wisdom. Ask me, how do I know what's the source of happiness? If our creativity is blocked, we will get sick. And what creativity actually brings us and enables us is to be fully satisfied. People are not satisfied with anything in their lives nowadays. The root of satisfaction is to be creative. Be creative, and you will be satisfied. Have relationships based on unconditional love, and you will be happy. Money can't bring you love, as they say. Even the Beatles knew that money can't bring you love. Can't buy me love. Money is not going to make us happy. Never. It cannot make us happy. Isn't that obvious? Although it has a certain purpose, and I'm not against money inside the money system. I'm against debt and how the money is manipulated. But That's another problem. And if we don't allow our consciousness to expand, we will get sick. So we need to know how to enable the client, the person we work with, how to expand his or her consciousness. But because the expansion of consciousness can bring you the fulfillment. So fulfillment lies in expansion of consciousness. So what is the original structure of creation, of the world we live in? It has 7 basic levels. I will, for now, explain only the 4 of them. The rest, the 3 others are in the book, or in my articles, which are on the web, so you may find it there. So let's go through these first levels. Pure Land, Creative Workshop, Humanitarian Workshop, Ritualistic Celebration Workshop, we may add. These express the 4 basic human needs. And this is the need for unconditional love, for creative expression. Here we have humanitarian work and some kind of ritualistic celebration. For example, people who have gone to heaven and went back when they had the near-death experience, and even the mystics from different traditions, such as Tibetan and so on, speak of these worlds. And this is how they describe them. When you die and you go to heaven, you will probably find yourself in the beautiful nature. And this nature will be pure. All the elements will be pure. Waters will be pure waters. Fire will be pure fire. Air will be the purest possible. Earth will be totally pure. And ether will be pure. This is a picture from the movie What Dreams May Come. Yeah, What Dreams May Come. With Robin Williams. Who died and went to heaven for in search of his wife who committed suicide, to help her. He died accidentally, but since he now also died in a car crash, he went to search for her. So he first found himself here. There he is. And this nature is sparkling, wonderful, beautiful, filled with positive energy, love. And this is heaven. So we don't have anything like this on earth. What is this then? Why do we go to nature? Why do we go here? And then we write to our friends and we say, oh, I'm in paradise. This is heaven. We have this here also. So this level of existence is also composed of the basic elements which form the very structure of heaven, of paradise, or something I call the original creation. In Pure Land, in this first aspect of paradise or creation, you also may find this wonderful golden cities. This is also a depiction from the same movie, What Dreams May Come, where Robin Williams goes to this wonderful city and he meets people who are aware of the unconditional love. They're able to express it openly and freely. They're not closed. They're not in bad mood, selfish. That's what souls or people are like in hell, not in paradise. So when you compare the two, are we living in paradise or hell? Basically, the structure of this planet is wonderful, but we do our best to make it look like hell. Heavenly cities, in visions of South American shaman Pablo Amaringo. He got them by taking ayahuasca, the psychotropic potion substance consisting of Amazon wine and DMT, a hormone that actually is a natural hormone for our bodies. It's found in our bodies. And allegedly, our pineal gland produces DMT. So this, when you ingest DMT this way, it tends to behave like a medicine, tends to heal you. It's not a drug. It's not a negative substance which would make you feel odd or see the unexistent or the illusory. You will see the illusions of your life. The Shambhala, the heavenly city, where souls meet to exchange ideas, to develop their creativity, second level of creation. Some people report that they went, when they nearly died and went to heaven, they visited some universities, some centers of knowledge. They were taught things and then sent back to apply them in this life. And sometimes these things were about how we create our lives, how to be creative in this sense, or how to apply the creative impulse into a specific area, like healing, painting, music studio, painting again, dancing, movie making. Don't we have anything like this on Earth? Yes, we do. But are these universities supporting our true creativity? Well, who knows? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they are just here to indoctrinate the minds of our youth, unfortunately. So they may also be what they were supposed to be, or they may become twisted, distorted. The third level of creation, humanitarian workshop. There are souls who learn and practice humanitarian activities, helping the humankind, helping their fellow man. We have people like this on this planet, but they are labeled as nutcase, madmen, like this individual who protested in front of the Houses of Parliament for, I think, more than 10 years, sleeping in a tent. And he used every opportunity to, when these politicians went in, to use the megaphone and shout on them. Stop doing what you do. Stop killing our children. Stop killing the Iraqi children. Killing Iraqi children is the same as killing our children. This is going to come back to us. Respect the law of karma. Any child killed anywhere in the world is our child being killed. And Londoners tend to look at him like an idiot. I spoke to him. He was one of the 5 most sane people I've ever met. Brian Hall died recently of lung cancer. I would doubt that this was developed naturally, but this is just an assumption. Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, John Lennon. What did we do to these people? Yeah, kill them. So, as George Carlin or Bill Hicks would say, whenever somebody speaks about loving your fellow man and peace, harmony, responsibility, and so on, we kill those people because they disturb our ignorance. The fourth level of creation, ritualistic celebration. There's a party in heaven, says this little story tale. And yet, there is a party in heaven. It is natural to celebrate, although we tend to think of partying as something immature, irresponsible, and even stupid, and something that belongs to human weaknesses. It is not so. Partying is okay. Why not celebrate life? Why not celebrate your true self, your true nature? You can do it like this, or like this. You can do it through an ayahuasca ceremony, which is a different kind of party, but it's heavy partying, believe me. You can do it like this. Japanese tea ceremony, yeah. By consciously doing something, being fully aware of what you do, therefore celebrating the positive principles. You can go to some kind of a retreat, like Enlightenment Intensive I spoke to you about at the beginning of the lecture, and find out about your true self, about your true being, about who you really are, what you really are, what is life, what is another human being, what is God, what is anything, what is the true nature of all things existing in this world. You can meditate in these kinds of groups ritually and celebrate your true nature. Or you can do some kind of artistic work which also expresses your true nature. Mandalas being very, very common depictions of soul. Soul is like mandala, full of potential and originally perfect. So let me end with this. I recently discovered these rules for being human, handed down from ancient Sanskrit. It is wonderful how they match what I discovered through the years and what I put into this methodology, where they say, okay, you will receive a body. You may like it or not, but it will be yours for the entire period around. Accept it. Yeah. You will learn lessons. That's what I'm talking about. You are enrolled in a full-time, informal school called life. Each day in this school you will have the opportunity to learn lessons. You may like the lessons or think them irrelevant and stupid. There are no mistakes, only lessons. Growth is a process of trial and error experimentation. The failed experiments are as much a part of the process of the experiment that ultimately works. A lesson is repeated until it's learned. Yeah, of course. They knew that, about that. A long time ago, ancient Sanskrit was written, who knows how many thousands of years ago. Learning lessons does not end. We spoke about that when I told you that shit happens and it will happen again as a means of learning a certain lesson. There is no better than here. Many people dream of escaping this world, of escaping the duties that they have, of escaping their body, and live a life that they are always somewhere else. But there is no better place than here while you are here. Others are merely mirrors of you. You can love or hate something about another person unless it reflects to you something you love or hate about yourself. Yeah. What you make of your life is entirely up to you. Of course it is. You have all the tools and resources you need. You have just disconnected them in the adaptation process for some reasons. For you to be accepted, loved, and so on by the members of your family. But you do have those resources and tools, and you have to work on regaining them. The answers lie inside you. The answers to life questions lie inside you. All you need to do is look, listen, and trust. I call this process a meditation process with the purpose of becoming enlightened, meaning having a direct experience of someone or something, entering the so-called world of unity. So other information on the structure of individual work and the school that I've created in order to teach other people to apply the same methodology, which now consists of 11 levels or courses and practice between them. Because I don't want this knowledge to stay just for my own benefit or just for my own material benefit. My aim is to spread this all over the planet and to give people practical tools to implement these ideas in their everyday living, solving their problems, becoming healthier. My purpose is not to, this saying about who is the best doctor. Good doctor heals the symptoms. The better one heals the causes of human problems. The best one enables people to actualize their life mission. Well, my ambition is to enable you exactly this. Not to be satisfied only with healing the symptoms, which I also can do, which is a part of the whole process, definitely. But why stop there? Why not go further into the level of the causes and dissolve the very roots of our problems? But what for? To be able to realize ourselves creatively. So, it can be learned on the courses, it can be learned through the individual one-on-one therapeutic interventions. More information on my website on the system and in this book, which was in the making for 10 years and in the process of translating into perfect English for another 3 years. So one of my life's achievements, and the next one is coming soon.